I'm here to talk to you about the book that I prepared for a show entitled Irresistible Forces. The thing that inspired me the most to make this book was this old recipe book that I had. It's all falling apart. It's very precious. The binding is all worn, but it's something that I thought I would like to reproduce in a way. Now, the show Irresistible Forces, you had to find more or less what you found irresistible. In my case, I started to do a book about the naughty little devils that seemed to sabotage my work as I worked through the process in making artwork. Now, this book is made up of collage elements, recycled drawings that I've had over the years, anything that I could find. It's all been in there, digital prints, all been added in there. Now, initially, if you look, this is the cover. Now, my recipe book didn't have a cover, so I made kind of a loose cover for this book. And the rope, first of all, this was found in a river close by, and it was such a beautiful rope that it echoes the idea of the elastic band, but it's much more beautiful. Now, the cover does not hint at what is inside, because this is a rather humorous book, but it looks like a kind of a treasure box. It's painted in gold, highly textured. You open it up and you're going to have a surprise. I tried to make the book bilingual because I'm in Quebec and there are two official languages, but I found it difficult because some things that work in terms of word-image play work in English or they work in French. Sometimes they don't work together. But I did my best. I think you'll see that it still works in a lot of ways. So initially, you open the book, and here inside is the cover. These are digital prints that I did of a devil. These were done on an iPad, and I stuck them in there. This area here is old newspapers that we found in the attic. They date from 1941 to 1944. And this is an image that I have in the book that I reproduced and played with on my computer and stuck to get the edge on there. Now, as I mentioned, this book is bound the same way the recipe book is. So there's a part 1 and a part 2. This is the first page. En français, Le Diable et mon livre d'artiste. So this is the Devil and My Artist book. Here you'll see I've used some acetates that I did from a print that I drew on my iPad. And everything, all the perimeter of the book has been burned with a blowtorch. That was quite an adventure. So the first page, you'll find that a lot of pages are stuck together. For that reason, they're nice and thick. This is a drawing that I recycled and played with, and it turned out quite nicely. There's a lot of texture and that sort of thing. The second page is in English. So we've got The Devil and My Artist book. Same thing. This is an acetate of my mouth and all the things that can go wrong. I do try and mention here. The Devil and My Artist book goes over the teeth. Everything that can go wrong does. And it certainly happened with this book because I was working with it very quickly. I was outside and things would stick, pages would stick together. It was really quite an adventure, but eventually it turned out. So this is the book From Hell. Again, this is a print that I drew on my iPad and printed up and reproduced in the book. And of course, there's a lot of red paint splatter. The next page is all about the things that can go wrong when you're doing artwork. Things end up crooked, that sort of thing. Here, I've got a lot of acrylic paste to give kind of a concrete feel to it. Again, this is a print that I've painted, and these are my smiles based on a drawing. So it says here, il est coquin, et parfois les choses vont mal. La page est croche, so this is a crooked page. He's a rascal, sometimes things go badly. The last page here is another drawing that I did, a sketch I did on my iPad. I incorporated it on the book. As there are a lot of smiles on the previous page, I had something sticking out. As you can see, nothing is very refined here. It's all very crooked, and so I put another mouth to sort of continue that thing. So here is book 2. This is more artistic. This is to explain what was coming. So here we've got hell art, and again this is one three-dimensional kind of devil with another one on top, naughty little devil. Here there's a lot of this is a medium, a paste that is kind of shiny, and it's very nice, kind of like a lava rock. Ooh, you can hear it crackle. This was inspired by, again, this is a digital print that I stuck in there, and this was inspired by the time I went to my hairdresser and I was telling her horrible things that happened to the hair when it's damp outside. So she said humidity is the devil. Well, she had no idea she was feeding this book. So this is humidity is the devil. Here, this page is about how you do a lot of problem solving at night. This is a drawing that I have done in a journal, and I blew it up, reproduced it on a print, and incorporated it in the book. So it's called problem solving. And as you can see, it's not always the best time to solve problems at night. This is a play on words. This is kind of interesting because I went to a store and tried on a Viking hat, and I thought it looked like horns. So I started to play with the image, warped it a little bit on the computer, and eventually ended up making it look like a drawing. And I started to draw a bear, and I drew the lower part of the bear and made a play on words as bare naked. So this is a self-portrait, bare naked, and I've superimposed the horned face to go with the devil theme. This is all the qualities that come when you have a devil. Now this is based on a shadow. I took a picture of a shadow of someone, and eventually I thought the shadow was so interesting that I created a character. This I printed on acetates, so he's a handsome devil. And from that I painted this portrait from a shadow, which is kind of interesting. Now the shadow is very, very sticky, which is why I ended up putting this page over it, because this is mixed with airbrush medium, and it gets kind of sticky. These are all paper clips that hold this part together, and I took away the other parts. These are 2 drawings that I assembled together. I didn't like either one, so funnily enough, they seem to work well together. And here we have a swarm of little devils that are making her life interesting. This is, I guess in a way, a self-portrait with a horn coming out, and these would be kind of imitation characters. They were just squiggles that I had put on freezer paper, and they looked really nice, so I threw them in. This is kind of interesting. In the old newspapers that I found, this is in French, it says La capitale fédérale compte 150,951 âmes. Âme is a soul. So this is a census report from 1941, which says that the capital of Canada, Ottawa, has 154,951 soles. So I started to play on the word soles, made prints of my feet, and then added in here soles, not souls. So it was just a play on the words. Now you can see they crackle and stick because the binding is kind of interesting. I did stick pieces of paper in the middle to attach everything. This is a drawing that I had done on my iPad of another little devil. He looks kind of dense, so I put that he has a 5-watt bulb over his head. And that's the end of part 2. This is a picture of myself when I was a little girl, and my alter ego, of course, who creates all these naughty things. So that's the end of the book. And when it closes in the back, you have the gold again. I hope you enjoyed it.